Welcome to Mistakes Were Made. And Sydney, this is especially for you. Welcome to the dining room table. Today we are going to be doing our budget recap for the first pay period of July. So that covers the 1st through the 15th. It is the 16th today, so everything that we are going to go over, it is in and it is done. So let's jump in and see what we're working with here. Let me zoom in so you can see that a little better. All right, so at least for this first part, Mr. M's pay, there is no difference in what we budgeted. My pay has a slight difference, not terribly large, of $2,226.84. Mr. M's was $1,909.01. We didn't have any miscellaneous income, but we were fortunate and had some sales on Etsy to the tune of $56.42. The buffer rollover from the previous pay period, which would have been the June 16th through the June 30th time period, ended up being $200.30. So let's do some calculations and let's hope that I managed to do things right this time and don't show off my brain deadiness quite so obviously like I have in the recent past. So we're doing $1909.01, $2,226.84, $56.42, and $200.30 for a total of $4,392.57. All right. Now, again, not a lot of differences here, and the ones that we do for the most part were minor. Once again, the automatic payment system that is set up for our mortgage decided to take a penny off the payment that we actually submitted, so $874.99. The Netflix was the same at $15.49, as was the Kindle Unlimited at $11.99. For once, the my car insurance actually was $114.34. And our very first official payment on the new monthly cycle for the water bill did end up being higher. It was $123.75. Now, typically when we have paid the $121, which is kind of when we were forcing the bill to be a monthly payment just to make things easier for us, the next payment that we'd make the next month on the actual month it was due would be about $113, $114 or something like that dollars. So if we're going to be seeing $123.75 kind of be the standard, then we're definitely seeing an increase in the cost of our water bill. That is not necessarily due to it going to a monthly cost, because there was also a rate increase and they anticipated that bills would go up. I want to say it was $12 to $16, $12 to $14 a month, something like that. So $123.75 is what the first one that we have is. We'll probably want to wait a couple more months to kind of see how that varies, especially since we're in the summer months and we are doing a little bit more water usage with the watering of the garden. So we'll be able to come up with a new kind of guesstimate amount for when we're doing our budgeting after that point. All right, so Mr. M's car insurance was $204.58. And then, of course, oops, we don't have any of those. So let's do our math here. $874.99 plus $15.49. Oh, do not start, brain. It's been a long day. Plus $11.99. Uh-oh. All right, we're back. Apparently, it is just impossible for anybody or anything to walk anywhere near our house, whether they're on the street or what, or else the dogs just have a fit. I think it was at $11.99, but it's probably best for me to start over, all things considered. All right, so we've got $874.99 plus the $15.49. Ooh, Gus is being a little butt. Plus $11.99, and that right there is Murphy. Plus $114.34 plus $123.75 plus $204.58. Okay, I am definitely going to have to go see what is riling them up, because hopefully nobody's coming to my door to ask if we want like bug care or to switch internet providers. I'm not fond of solicitors, so we'll see. I will be right back. Okay, we had a very serious talk, and they understand that they need to be shushy, at least until I finish this video. We'll see if those negotiations, stay true or if they break down before this video is over. But we have a total of $1,345.14 for our total costs. We are going to take that and subtract it from our total income, which was $43.92.57, which gives us a remainder, ooh, this is just flying all over the place here, of $3,047.43. Let's do that dot a little bit better. Okay. Now, we do not do the emergency fund during the first pay period. We're not going to note any extra savings until we've finished this process. Same thing for the change on the buffer. We're just going to do the $200 for now. So our total here will be $200. And because I'm lazy, I'm just going to do the calculation on the calculator, which puts us at $2,847.43. Same thing here, no deviations from what we had. Oops, this is getting all crinkly. There we go. What we had actually budgeted. We stayed within the confines of our cash envelopes as well during this pay period. We did not have any overages to note, so we're just going to quickly fill this in. I swear my handwriting gets worse and worse as the pay period goes on. I think part of it today is I am rushing this just a little bit, mainly because it's a million bajillion degrees in here. And so I have plans to, oops, I'm getting off screen, to do a run to the post office so I can drop an order off, and then I'll probably swing by and get my favorite Taco Bell. And after I get that and eat that, there will definitely be a nice cooling shower in my future because, oh boy, so sweaty. Okay, so since nothing changed here, we do know that the total is $712. So we'll go ahead and we will add $712 to our running total, which brings us down to $2,135.43. All right, now we're shifting gears over here to look at the debt section. Citibank's already been closed off. We do not typically do any kind of standard payment for Discover during the first pay period. we did our normal which is now our normal $488 payment for Reflect. So we will be skipping, of course, the extra debt payment at the moment. So this total is just going to be the $488. So let's go ahead and add $488 to that, which brings us down to $1,647.43. I did stay within my allowance budget amount, so that works out nicely. We'll add the 30 there, which brings us to $1,617.43. And then last but not least, we did have our transfer that pays for the patio chairs, which is $100. So we can just do the quick math after we note the total down here, which will be $1,517.43. Oh my gosh. Yeah, my handwriting is just, it can be really nice sometimes, but apparently this is not one of those times. All right, so we definitely have some change in what we were expecting to see, mostly because of the income from Etsy, the slight dollar and some change difference with my income. Probably wouldn't have moved the needle much, but here we go. Let's see what we get when we do our 75-25% split between debt and savings with our new total of $1,517.43. So $1,517.43, we will subtract 75%. And so that tells us we are going to, and we did, put $379 towards savings instead of the $365 we had originally expected and budgeted. So at this point, we know what our rollover buffer change is going to be, as well as the savings. So let's put that where it goes. $379, and then what was that? 43 cents. 43 cents. There we go. And so next, we will go back and we are going to add that 1517 again, and we're going to subtract the 379, which gives us over here, well, we'll put it over here, $1,138 instead of the $1,096 that we were expecting, which is fantastic. I would have been thrilled with the $1,096, but every extra bit helps move that debt needle to where we want it to go. So with 1138 and us following my wackadoodle, rule that I made up, the closest is going to be ending in $25. So instead of having $1,075 to go to Reflect, we will be putting in, and again, we did, $1,125. And so we'll subtract that. And that leaves us with $13 going to Discover instead of the 21. So Discover kind of got the short end of the stick once again because of just how the mathed out, but well worth that for an extra boost on the Reflect debt. So we are going to go up here and put 1138 as our total extra debt payment, and then we'll just adjust these to reflect the $13 going to Discover and the $11.25 going to Reflect. So fantastic. Very, very pleased with the progress that we're making. Of course, I would love for it to be going faster. Who wouldn't? That said, every time that I see a chunk of our debt come down, it just adds a little bit more of a brick to that wall of security that is, kind of holding back the anxiety and the concerns of what is to come. So I'm very, very excited that we are seeing the progress that we're seeing. So on that note, we're going to just do a really quick look at where we are with our current credit card debt and what got paid off just this pay period. We will see what the full month impact of our efforts are at the end of the month. This will just be for the 1st through the 15th. So we started, and I'm not going to be noting, the city information because it's at $0 and that's not going to change. But we did have Discover. We started the month at $9,649.62, and we finished this pay period, so on the 15th, with a total of $9,636.62, which is that $13 difference or that $13 payment that we just discussed. Discover does not get its standard debt payment until the second pay period of the month. Reflect. We started the month at $10,345, and I am so excited to say we have ended this pay period at $8,732, which means we broke the $10,000 mark, which is amazing. Not only that, we broke the $9,000 mark as well, and that is because we were able to do a total of $1,613 worth of payments. That is between the extra payment that we just went over for the end of the pay period, as well as the standard, bi-monthly, yes, I think that's right, bi-monthly payment of $488. So if we're looking at totals, we started out the month of July with $19,994.62 worth of shared credit card debt. We have ended this pay period at $18,368.62, which is a change of $1,626. Very, very awesome. I am incredibly excited about that. It is also kind of weird to be in this position right now because we only have 2 debts left. Now, granted, these are, I think, arguably our 2 largest credit card debts. So, there's a lot of meat on these debt bones for us to pick off. But when we first started, I want to say we had 5 or 6 debts that we were staring down at with the possibility that my job was going to be going away and at any day. Obviously, we are where we are now, and though the threat of the job going away just at any point is still there, we have weathered quite a number of months under that. And with the advent of us making it through July, we have officially been advised we will be working through August. So, it continues. And again, I am not complaining by any means because it has been this month to month to month to month that has allowed us to get to this point, as well as to be saving for when the job actually goes away. So I'm incredibly, incredibly appreciative of the situation I'm in, regardless of the stress and all the other things that come with it. What is exciting is, there's just as much chance that by the middle of August, we'll get that same notification to say that we'll be working through September as there is for them to say, thank you very much. We appreciate the work you've done. August will be the last month that you work. I am, of course, hoping that we do work through September simply because, as I've mentioned in a couple of other videos, if my predictions are correct as far as the numbers that I have on my spreadsheet, which goes out until June of next year for our budgeting, we may very well be seeing this reflect card come down to zero. It will require quite a bit of discipline and no surprises as far as costs for that to happen. But the possibility is there. It is absolutely there. It just, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I don't want to hang my hat on anything, and I don't want to get ahead of myself by saying that, but just the possibility is very motivating in and of itself. I don't have anything else down here, so I don't know why I'm holding that there. Yeah, I am excited. I am excited for where we are. I'm excited for where we could be in the very near future. I'm a little less excited about the ultimate end situation, but I do feel much, much better about our ability to deal with that. I think that's kind of it. Yeah, if you have any feedback, any questions that we haven't covered with the information that I've shared, or things that you've just been wondering for a while, please note those down below. I'm fairly an open book. There's certainly going to be some things that we may not want to share just for privacy's sake, but for the most part, there's no bad questions as long as they're coming from an appropriate place. If you're just trying to be mean but couching it as a question, then obviously that's no bueno. So I guess on that note, I just want to say thank you, as always, for watching. Thank you for the support that we have been getting. Thank you for commiserating for those of you who were watching the last video with me and the heat. If this is the first video that you are seeing of ours, welcome. I hope you find something of interest with it and consider watching some of our other ones so you kind of know where we came from and what we've accomplished so far. Yeah, so that's it. I am out of here. I'm gonna go get my food and then get my shower. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next one.